Hi, this is A Waiter Consulting, transforming restaurants and exceeding expectations. Waiter, excuse me. Waiter, waiter. How many times have you had to get your server's attention? Probably more times than you can even remember. 64% of restaurants lose customers after a poor experience. And for most restaurants, 64% could have them hanging on by a thread. Fortunately for you, A Waiter Consulting is here to help. At A Waiter Consulting, we've turned regular into spectacular. Founded in 1985 by the Great Seven, Autumn Payne, Amani Wilson, Joseph Solomon, Laken Craft, Morgan Hartley, Nolan Bates, and I myself sought to reinvent the restaurant industry. We believe that human connection is key to creating excellence. In the restaurant industry, but we are creating deep understanding with restaurant owners, their staff, and their customers. We create synergy. Businesses can run better when they work in an environment that's efficient and pleasant. And that same thing goes for customer experience. These ideas are powered through our vision statement to help restaurants strengthen operations, rebuild reputations, and elevate the guest experiences from the moment a customer walks into the door, from the moment that they sit down and write a review. Waiter Consulting views the restaurant industry as a cycle. Restaurant owners benefit from having good staff and sales. Restaurant staff benefit from having healthy and efficient work environment, and customers benefit from receiving great customer service. However, it's hard to find the balance and harmony within these three benefits. But at Waiter Consulting, we can help you find just that. Through Waiter Consulting, we can work together to improve your restaurant. Happy customers spend more time, return often, and spread the word. Clear communication streamlines operations for better service. Lasting impressions turn first timers into regulars. They boost revenue and build a reputation and ensure success. And that's what our foundation is built on. Now, as for me, I'm Notori Lau. I'm co-founder of Waiter Consulting. My expertise lies in helping restaurants strengthen their brand image, communication, customer service through interpersonal and people-centered approach. I understand that restaurant successes depends not only on great food, but how customers and guests feel through the entire experience, from first impression to last goodbye. The restaurant's brand image is important because it shows how a restaurant is perceived through reviews and in person. It could be from Google, Yelp, or a friend. It's essential that a customer has a great impression of the service and the food received at a restaurant. It also shows that restaurant communication is more than just the server talking to a customer. It's the flow of communication both vertically and horizontally between employers and employees. How do the waitress and busboys communicate with their managers? How do sous chefs and head chefs collaborate on a dish? How do restaurant CEOs convey their vision to their employees? That all matters when it comes to customer service and how a restaurant is supposed to operate. At Oh Waiter, I'm a firm believer that customer experience is key to a thriving restaurant. Did that restaurant make you feel at home or like an outcast? This involves improving team communication both from the front of the house and the back of the house, training employees in guest interactions, and ensuring that marketing and social media reflects the restaurant's tone and identity. So let's talk about you. Port Calvin's is an Asian Southern fusion restaurant that focuses on fine dining and is located on 510 Piedmont Avenue in Midtown, which is a very popular area of Atlanta, Georgia. Port Calvin's has founded in 2012 and the restaurant has been in business for a whopping 13 years. The most iconic dishes that you have are the lobster fried mac and cheese topped with a tempura lobster tail and your oh so delicious Cajun lobster mac and cheese with crispy fried onions. And you can't forget how your show-stopping desserts take the cake, specifically the red velvet cake. As far as for Port Calvin, you have two major competitors. Those competitors would be Whiskey Bird, located in downtown Atlanta in the Virginia Highland area. This restaurant is a casual Asian American eatery that focuses on flavors for the Pacific Rim and their whiskey forward bar. You have two key similarities, mostly being that you are Asian inspired and focus on areas around the Pacific Rim. However, your differences are price points, being that Whiskey Bird is a casual, cheaper eatery. Your second competitor is for Poor Calvin's is the Consulate, located in Midtown as well. This restaurant is an upscale fine dining restaurant that rotates their global fusion menu. Your similarities as far as this restaurant include location, dining style, and your chef-driven fusion. However, the differences as far as your uh, locations is cuisine types. The Consulate is a global menu compared to the Poor Calvin's Asian and Southern fusion menu. Strengths for Fort Calvin's includes your creative, high-quality cuisine. Many reviews highlighted that you had an amazing blend of Thai and Southern flavors, specifically in your lobster mac and cheese and your lobster fried rice. More reviews even stated that you guys have strong customer service and an even more attentive staff. Servers were knowledgeable and provided menu guidance and a pleasant experience. Lastly, a lot of reviews acknowledge that you have a great on-site parking that's completely complimentary to guests. This is extremely rare to find in Atlanta. One of your guests even left a review stating that this restaurant has everything figured out. The valet parking is free, the greeter is super excited to see you, and the waiter will give you a recommendation to get the special. Now, as far as your weaknesses, guests who visited Poor Calvin's complained about high price point. Your dinner is upscale, which guests do love for expensive and nice occasions, but some guests did complain about wanting more affordable everyday entrees. You have regulars. You want to maintain those regulars. You don't want to be seen as only a special occasion you can stop in here and be a first timer. No. So when your regulars come in, they might want to try something that may be on the more affordable side for dinner, maybe starting prices at $20 to $30 instead of 50 and above. To compare, there was a review that was left that said to compare, we went to an upscale steakhouse and fed 5 people and had cocktails and a bottle of wine, which was just around $400. Our tab at Port Calvin's was almost $300, for two, and we did not have a bottle, just 2 cocktails. Another guest noted that you guys have a small event space. It's great ambiance. However, the layout is described as intimate and less ideal for groups over 4. And those who prefer a quieter dining experience. When you have a restaurant, it's essential that you're able to pack as many people in there as possible because not only is that more revenue for you, but it's a greater tip for your servers. In exchange, you're keeping your servers happy and you're happy as well. If guests feel cluttered and cramped into a restaurant and they feel that the sound is too loud due to being close in proximity, it's not a great look for your restaurant. Lastly, guests complain about non-allergy friendly menu. Guests have noticed that the menu lacks options for those who have allergies. One guest even noted that, got a food allergy? Too bad. They will make zero accommodations for you. Our waitress made sure to tell us that everything is cooked in the same wok, and that's it. That is also clearly stated in the bottom of the menu. So although you did acknowledge that there's food allergies for people who do have food allergies, I think it would be a great opportunity for you to have an extra spare wok on the side for those who do have allergies, so you can cook with that one without causing cross contamination. For opportunities, Port Calvin has several strong opportunities. One opportunity is to expand or open a second on location, given its loyal customer base and high demand for its often exceeds seating capacity. Another opportunity lies in introducing a seasonal rotating menu. I know that Port Calvin's is chef based, so the chefs are able to experiment as much as they're able to, but rotating your menu or keeping it seasonal could attract regular customers and also attract new customers looking for fresh experiences. Finally, the restaurant could capitalize on digital marketing and delivering partnerships using online exposure, influencer collaborations, and catering or takeout services to reach a wider audience beyond those who can dine in. 3 potential threats that Port Calvin is facing is the growing competition at Atlanta restaurants market. Nowadays, there's a lot of fusion restaurants that are popping up here and there, whether it's Asian fusion, Caribbean fusion, Southern fusion. A lot of these restaurants are taking place in the same area and location as you, making it very competitive for your market, as well as the upscale dining concepts for emerging competing for the same audience. You want to make sure you stand out. You want to make sure you have a competitive advantage. So maybe adapting with your restaurant could help and benefit you in the future. Another threat is economic fluctuation. Prices for ingredients and labor are rising at the moment, but so are the struggles for restaurant goers to be able to afford a decent meal. By maintaining profitability without alienating customers through higher end menu prices, it can be difficult, but it is possible. I would suggest that you lower or create certain menu options that are on a lower cost end so you're able to still create revenue for yourself, but opportunities for restaurant goers to partake in a more cheaper option. A third threat is possibility changing of customer preferences. Since dining taste evolved quickly, the trends in cuisine and health conscious eating should shift the attention away from rich and indulgent fusion dishes. And this also kind of goes into the whole allergy friendly dish idea. A lot of people are more conscious about, once again, allergies, gluten intake, lactose intake, such as that. If you were to create a separate menu for those focusing on those with allergies and also incorporate in the back of the house with a separate walk, it could also create more revenue for you in the future. As mentioned before, you have a lot of strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats here. So as far as strengths, Tasty Bites is one of by far your biggest strength here. A lot of people enjoy your food. They highlight the dishes that they have, and that's setting a recommendation and a tone for future restaurant goers. Your free valet, you should absolutely continue to keep the free valet. It sets you apart from other restaurants because their guests will not have to pay an additional fee for parking, and they'll be more inclined to choose you because why would I choose to pay $30 to go park and then have to pay additional money to eat at a restaurant when I could pay for free? Great ambiance. Keep the restaurant the same as far as ambiance and vibe. The live music is great. The friendly staff is great, but maybe we can expand our location a little bit. And your food presentation is eye-catching. It's like art. When people are going to fine dining and they want to spend a good pretty penny, you want to make sure that you're getting your money's worth by seeing visually appealing and aesthetic food. For weaknesses, your non-allergy friendly restaurant, you have to expand your palate as far as for your restaurant goers' taste. If people can't have seafood, that's okay, but you need to incorporate more of your dishes as far as your fried chicken, your Korean barbecue ribs, your pork bellies. Add those into those more dishes and get creative with those so we can have more people and more of larger reach of an audience. Inconsistency with food was also a notice as far as your um, restaurant reviews. A lot of people explained about how they've been dining at this restaurant for years. This is more of a back of the house issue. You could just, once again, replicate those dishes as closely as possible and make sure that the training that you're applying to the new staffing is able to be consistent as well. And lastly, high prices in a small space. For the high prices, we greatly suggest that you're offering a menu, maybe like a brunch menu or a early dinner menu for those who are going and they don't want to indulge in something that's more on the expensive side. It's just a casual eating experience, so it'll help you compete with restaurants like Whiskey Bird, just smaller dishes, but still with the same flavor, just at a cheaper price point. And for space size, it would be really beneficial if you do expand your restaurant, whether it means a second location in a different part of the Atlanta area or even expanding in other states. It would be really nice if customers are able to try different locations that have different settings as far as space and style. So you can choose whether you want to be in a closer, more intimate area or have private dining experiences where it's a little bit quieter. Lastly, for opportunities and threats, we strongly recommend a second location, a revolving menu that changes pretty frequently, with seasonal ideas, maybe monthly, and also allergy-friendly options, and really punching in on that marketing. Um, Creating opportunities where people can dine in and maybe get a discount on their next meal if they post a review on TikTok or Instagram, because those are marketing options that will not only provide you a review, but also reach your audience a little bit farther. And then for threats, we strongly suggest altering prices due to the fluctuation of the economy right now. Once again, a smaller menu onto the side that has smaller plates for a certain dining time would be really beneficial for your customers. Another threat is the lack of variety. Once again, it's a seafood fusion restaurant or a Thai fusion restaurant. That's great, but it's seafood based. Most of the dishes on there were primarily seafood, which is fine. But if you could incorporate some pork belly, some beef, some chicken in there a little bit more, it'll give guests a lot more options other than seafood to choose from. And then your competitiveness with fusion restaurants, whether it's Caribbean fusion, Latin fusion, it's a very competitive space right now in Atlanta, Georgia. It's a very hot topic right now in Atlanta, Georgia. And just to make sure you stand out, you have a competitive advantage. You want to make sure that you're maxing in on your niche idea of combining Thai and Southern flavors together. And lastly, we have a conclusion. I would just like to reiterate how managing your restaurant is essential for reviews. You want to make sure that you are talking to your staff appropriately, making sure that they're trained on every new aspect of the restaurant. Are they trained on the menu, the new alcohols, liquors that you have provided, and the flavor pairings that you have for those as well? And also making sure that they feel it comfortable in their workspace so that they're arriving to work feeling happy and proud that they work at this restaurant so they can provide that same level of joy and excitement to their guests that they are serving by getting their food out faster, by taking time to get to know their guests to provide suggestions. All in all, like we mentioned, a waiter believes that the restaurant industry is a cycle. It goes from restaurant owners to staff to customers, and that comes back in general. Customers can feel when a restaurant cares and when they truly care, and a waiter has noticed that poor Calvin's already done such a great job on that and just continue to do what you're doing. It just take a little bit more time to adjust here and there. Once again, you can strengthen your position with competitors by just adjusting your menu with more options as far as tastings for less seafood focused items, maybe changing the price on those items as well, and also maybe considering opening another location with a different space size so that you can have more options as far as quiet dining. Um, I completely enjoyed the opportunity to discuss a waiter and Poor Calvin with you and managing your reviews. I loved providing us recommendations, and I was able to greatly assist you guys in the way that's best suited for you. Don't forget to reach out and contact a waiter when you get a chance at 770-355-4995. And if you do notice below, we also have some of our merch. We have a nice Tide pen, our version of a waiter pen that your staff can keep inside of their um, waiter skirts and everything like that. In case the stains happen, you want to make sure you have a clean, concise look. So by utilizing that, it would be great as well. Pens are essential for waiters. Why not grab a pen, write down your orders, but use a waiter or a waiter pen instead of a regular Bic pen or something like that. We also have some headgear at the top for your staff in the back. We can't forget about you. These are our sweat resistant headbands. They help keep the hair, the sweat, all of that out of the way while you're working hard in the kitchen because we greatly appreciate your work as well. And lastly, we have bottle openers. We can't forget about our bartenders. We have wine cork openers and beer bottle openers available for purchasing as well. Thank you so much once again. It was great talking to you, and I hope to speak to you again in the future. A waiter.